Hi students, welcome to another session of class 6 geography. In this session we discuss the chapter agriculture. In the last class we discussed the water body, and you see we learned that about 70% of the portion of the earth is surrounded by water. Then 30% of the earth is covered by land. So we mainly depends upon the land for our livelihood. Not only we human being, even the plants, animals, they all depend upon land for their food. You know that population is increasing day by day. So we need, so the land what is available to us are not sufficient for the need of the entire population. We need to have a huge amount of production in order to satisfy the large number of people. And children, do you know that what are the factors mainly depends upon the growth of the agriculture? There are many factors are affecting the growth of agriculture in many areas. Some areas are not suitable for the cultivation, like desert region and all, and infertile soil and all, not good for cultivation. So only a small percentage of the land is available for the cultivation. Agriculture is depending upon many more factors like type of soil, favorable climatic condition, availability of water, etc. That is the reason that earlier days all the river valley civilization flourished on the river side. We have learned that Harappan civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, all these are river valley civilization. Why? Because once man started a settled life, agriculture became his main source of income. So he wanted a proper place for the growth of his cultivation. So he had chosen river area. So in the ancient period, agriculture was the main source of income, and almost all the population involved in the cultivation. But as the time changed, man has started doing he shifted his occupation to other areas also. In the recent years, people are doing a lot of industrial activities, commerce, trade, IT industry, and all. But still agriculture had flourished, and you see, compared to the ancient period only wooden tools were used for cultivation. Now when he discovered iron, and he started making iron tools, and that has made the complete life of man, because he could clear the forest and he could do the cultivation in a better way. That has helped him to develop his life. So as the time passed, he adopted new techniques and methods in the field of agriculture. Now we know that we are using huge machines and huge acres of land with the help of laborers and other machineries, and with the technique of modern science and good seeds and good yield of seed and chemical fertilizers, pesticides. All these are used for improving our agriculture. So both natural and human factors are responsible for the growth and development and changes in the cultivation. So as the time passed, lot of changes have taken place in the field of agriculture. So day by day he improved, and finally now you see we use all kind of modern method in the field of agriculture, and we are producing huge amount of food stuff for the need of the population. So accordingly, different type of cultivation emerged in different parts of the world. So in this chapter we are mainly going to discuss which are the different type of cultivation, and in what are their important features. That means how these different each type of cultivation is practiced, and in which are the areas such kind of cultivation is practiced. So before that, let's see that what is agriculture. Let's define the term agriculture. So what is agriculture? You know that agriculture means what? It is a practice of farming soil. So it's a why farming soil? To produce the crop. So it's a practice of farming the soil to produce the crop, including not only, see, agriculture, when we say not only producing crops, we also rear animals, isn't it? Animals for the milk products and other materials. So we rear the animals. So agriculture consists of both growing crops and also rearing the animals. So it is a practice of farming soil to produce crop and rearing animals to provide food and other raw materials. So I hope that you understood the definition of agriculture. So the term agriculture, it is derived from a Greek word. Agar means soil and culture means cultivation. So cultivation in the soil, that means agriculture. Now we discuss different type of agriculture in short here. Let's see what are the different type of agriculture. Let's go through it. This is shifting farming. Let's write it clearly. This is shifting farming. And second type is that subsistence farming. Then intensive farming, extensive farming, commercial farming, and the last one is plantation farming. Let's see what is shifting farming. You know, shifting farming is a primitive kind of cultivation. In the earlier days, you know, man, he used to clear the forest. He used to move from place to place, isn't it? So for some time he cleared the forest and he stay there and he cultivate there for some days. So this method is also called as slash and burn cultivation, because he cut down the clear the forest and then he burn everything and clear the land, then he cultivate there for some time. Then once the fertility is lost, he move from that place to other place. But this is very harmful for the land, you know, because this completely reduce the fertility of the soil, and they slowly, once they leave the land later on, this land may turn into a barren soil. So that is what shifting farming. So from the term itself, you understood people shift from place to place after cultivating land for only for 1 or 2 years or only for a short period of time. And next is that subsistence farming. So subsistence farming mainly practiced in the region of highly populated area. You know why? Because the subsistence farming means a small piece of land is available. There the farmer cultivate only for his own need. So the food is produced only for the necessity of his family, and there is nothing more, no extra food or surplus food for selling in the market. So he produces for his own need, so that he don't keep any laborers and anybody, and not even input of capital. That means no much money is spent on machineries or fertilizers. So he produces in a small scale and only for his own need. So the production is here minimum, no much production held here. So that is what subsistence farming. So that is when farmer produce food for his own need. And next is that in intensive farming. So intensive farming is also practiced in highly populated area. Now see here, subsistence farming, why it is practiced in the highly populated area? Why? Because in the highly populated area, usually some areas like near to city and all, only high population, isn't it? So there only small piece of land is available, because major areas are occupied by the human settlement. But in the village, if you go, you will find that large piece of land people there cultivate. So subsistence farming means the farmer who stays in the highly populated nearby some region near to city area and all, there he practices. So he has got only a small piece of land there. So due to the limitation. So here also intensive farming also, what is that, highly populated. It is also practiced in the region of highly populated area and small piece of land. So here lot of similarity here. So in both the place you see small piece of land and highly populated area. But here the major difference is that he make use of capital, more input of capital. So he make use of money, more investment of money, and keeping the laborers and the machineries, fertilizers and pesticides, he produce food. So the maximum production will be here. So intensive farming means maximum production in a small piece of land with the help of available technology. But here only he produced for his own purpose, so he himself produced. So no input of labor, but here more input of labor and capital. Now here we see that what is that? Extensive farming. So extensive farming is practiced in the large piece of land, large area of land. But here also you see no much input of labor or capital, because you see small number of laborers may be there, and they will not use such kind of modern techniques or machineries and all for production. So like you see vast areas like grasslands, prairies, and there the rice cultivation, wheat cultivation, and such areas, what kind of cultivation. So that kind of cultivation all comes under extensive farming. So extensive farming means large piece of land, the cultivation is done with the less amount of less input of capital and the less number of laborers. And next is that commercial farming. And in the commercial farming, that means here, so both the place you see large acres of land, large area of land is used in both extensive and commercial. But here the difference is that in the commercial farming you see large area and you see heavy input of labor and the capital and the huge machineries and modern techniques and technology and other pesticides and chemical fertilizers. All these are made use for production. Why? From the term itself, commercial. This is mainly produced for the profit making, isn't it? So like you see, can you say the example of such like tea, coffee, cotton, sugar cane, tobacco, etc. are all example of commercial farming. So this commercial farming is mainly plants and livestock, or even cattle rearing and other poultry farming. All these can be categorized under commercial farming. So all these are done in a large area of land for mainly the purpose of profit making. And here next we discuss is that plantation farming. What is plantation farming? If you go to some areas, in hilly areas and all, if you see that huge acres of land, you can see the tea garden. So here plantation farming means a single crop is grown in a vast acres of land. Acres of land means estates, huge estates are there. So the single crop is grown. There you can see even laborers and their settlement. So laborers also stay there, skilled laborers are there, and the settlements are also made in the plantation farming and their land, and they stay there and do the cultivation. Now you see what is the difference between here commercial and plant? You should not be confused. Here also vast acres of land is used. What vast acre, not what area of land. But here is means for such a vast area, like if you travel from one area to other area, it covers plantation farming. Not like a commercial farming in a larger area, but not so large as plantation farming. And also here commercial farming, any crop can be, even livestock also, like poultry farming, even cattle rearing, all this can be considered as the commercial. But here single crop is grown in vast area of plantation land. Now who introduced plantation farming in India? It's the British people who first time brought about plantation farming in India. It is the tea introduced by the Britishers in India.